I am LaMarsha Lewis. Let's talk. This is Friday, March the 5th, 2021. We're going to do commentary. I kind of want to talk about the Republican Party briefly. As we know, President Biden is trying to get the rescue plan passed so that hopefully that we can get more stimulus money, we the American people. And you got the Republican Party all still kicking against the prick. Then they like to throw out, well, you said you wanted unity. You said you want to work with us. Then they try to give this fake outrage over things that shouldn't be even discussed, let known so much as outrage in regards to. They're making it hard, and I have come to the realization they don't want unity. They don't want this country to come together. They don't want the restoration or the restore. They don't want, as President Biden ran his campaign, the soul of this country. They don't want that. They are about keeping the oppressed, keeping the black man, people of color down. The white man's birth is about them and them alone, themselves, them and their families, and the rich. They don't want anyone else. We can be like so many other countries. We can have health care for all. We can raise the minimum wage to $15 an hour. That's $31,200 a yearly annual salary. And that's not a salary that's just, hey, something to rave about, but it's better than $7.25 an hour. It's better than, say, having to be working 2, 3, 4 jobs. And they have a salary of $174,000. They have the best health care. All of them were, when the vaccine first came out, all of them were able to get vaccines. Although we have learned this week that by the May, 2 more months, all American that wants the vaccine can get it. But this is about their fake outrage. This week it's been about, as they love to use the term, cancel culture. They like to refer to Democrats as socialism. All the bull crap. Just a lot of BS. The fake outrage about Miss Potato Head. The outrage about Dr. Seuss. And it has been stated, as I have learned, to my understanding, some of the family of Dr. Seuss, or the book writers themselves, is the one who pulls some books because it has been depicted that some of the materials in books will be offensive to people like myself, Black Americans, and Chinese, different cultures, ages, and all of this. So therefore, to stop racism, the books was banned. But you got the Republican Party, who is the party of racism. That's why they still flocking to Donald J. Trump, because of the boldness of his racism, the openness of his racism. That's why they, even though they know he's a con man, they know he's a crook, they know he has no caliber of ever being a president, even though he put a hit on America, their lives, on January the 6th, 2021. And he's mocked women, he's mocked the disabled, military that they so claim to love. But because of his openness and boldness to racism, he's the spokesperson for the Republican Party, and that's why they still will be willing to have him be the president supposedly in 2024. How absurd, how ridiculous, how just plain stupid can you be? But again, as I have said in my commentary, racism is at the core of it all. The white man's burden of not wanting the black man, people of immigrants, people of color to ever come in prominent positions, titles, and hold power and authority. It scares the HELL out of them. But then they want to always talk about, well, you said you want to have unity and you want to restore the soul of the country. Well, doggone it, don't you know you got to play your part? I can't do anything by myself. We, the Democrat Party, cannot do anything by ourselves. And these people just shows how They don't have no ethics. They don't have no values. They have no morals, no integrity. And many of them want to call themselves Christian. God is love, and God has no respect to person. He loves everyone. He says, "Suffer the little children to come unto me." And there's no greater love than to love thy neighbor as thyself. And it doesn't matter if that neighbor is a black person or white or Asian or whatever the case may be. But see, they only care about themselves. They got $174,000 salary, yearly salary, that's paid by you and I, we the American people, taxpayers. And they don't want to give us a $15 minimum wage. They don't want, it was stated that in the House where they passed it, no Republicans voted for the rescue plan. 2 Democrats voted against it. It was passed, but just the fact alone that no one in the Republican, the vote was 219 to 212, with 2 nays from the Democrat and 210 Republicans. And see, these people are the representation for you and I, you and me. And see, that's where the problem, that's why I said we got to make sure we vote. We got to make sure we make our voices heard. And we need to start getting new people. All those old heads that's in that Senate that's been there forever, like Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham. And then you got these people that's come in there like that woman from Georgia, the MTG, who is you can tell she's uneducated, even though she may have a degree. Because I know she said, if I make no mistake, she was the first to go to college in her family. But when you're just ignorant, that outweighs your education. And she's seeking attention. And now she's a member of Congress. A woman that we saw on video mocking a young boy that was in high school who had just survived a school shooting, and where she's freaking out over her gun rights. And yet she's a mother of 3. But she was mocking a child. But that's the representation that Georgia sent to be their representation. We need more credible people to be our voice, our representation. I'm tired of Lindsey Graham's. I'm tired of Mitch McConnell, Rand Paul, all of these racist people. And the list goes on and on. I'm tired of it. And then they have the audacity to try and talk about Democrats. Democrats know they see that it's a lot of work to be done there too, in both parties, in both areas. But when it's all said and done, I believe we get more from Democrats than we do the Republicans. Like I said, they are so openly racist. That's why they still would be. You got Mitch McConnell that has said that Trump was responsible for the insurrection. He was the person that chose not to hold Trump accountable when he was still in office. And then his excuse and lie, excuse me, for not voting to convict. It was called, well, you can't vote a president when he's no longer president, no longer in office, now just a regular citizen. That was full BS. And then after that, he's still gonna come out and say, well, he played a role. Then now he's been stated to say, well, if Trump is the Republican nominee in 2024, he's okay with that. He would support that. Wow, I'm just ashamed of people that are adults. The fact that you let a man that put a hit on America be acquitted. Then you had like the senators in my state, both of them voted to acquit. Then the one that would sit at a public hanging front row, she voted to overturn the will of the American people that had voted and knowing that the election was free and fair. Oh, and let me say this. Today, again, is March the 5th. It has been stated on yesterday, it had been supposedly that Trump was supposed to take office March the 4th. According to his dumb supporters, guess what? Biden's still our president. Joseph Biden is still the president. Kamala Harris is the first black African American Asian descent, first woman vice president. They're not going anywhere, not at least for the next 4 years. And our Vice President Kamala Harris may just become the first woman president. We'll give her another first, adding on to those lists of firsts for her. I am so tired of the racism in this country. I am so tired of the fake outrage and the total hypocrisy and being flat out hypocrites from Republicans. Don't dare talk to me about being a Christian. Don't dare talk to me about unity when you're not willing to do your part. And let me play some clips, because you want to continue to get all that you can for you and yours. You want to give tax breaks to the rich, but you can't. Like I said, you against $15 minimum wage. You're against health care for all. You don't want we the American people to get $1,400 more from that $600 that was given, or to get $2,000, but you all got a salary of $174,000. Then you have put it into place that when the government shuts down, you still get paid. We need more people, better people to be our representation. It's the people that's in Washington now. A lot of them needs to go, and that's a FYI. It says American Rescue Plan Act 2021. The American Rescue Plan Act 2021 is a $1.9 trillion economic stimulus package proposed by President Joe Biden to speed up the United States recovery from the economic and health effects of COVID-19 pandemic and ongoing recession. He plans to pass this as one of his first bills into law through the 117th Congress. First proposed on January the 14th, 2021, the package builds upon many of the measures of the CARES Act from March and the Consolidated Appropriation Act of 2021 from December. Full title: to provide reconciliation pursuant to Title II of Congress RSE 5. Acronym is called the American Rescue Plan, and of course the acronym is simply ARP. And let's listen to a couple of clips. This was and it has today is Friday, so this might have been Wednesday, Thursday, but in a tie in the Senate, and we know because the House is now basically divided. We know now that the Senate is now divided, where we got 50 Democrats, 50 Republicans, and whenever there is a tie in voting, to the person that makes that casting vote, the last casting vote that basically determines where that bill will go or that vote will go. Guess who? The first vice president, black African American president, none other than Kamala Harris. And this is her second time to break the tie. And let's listen to it's a very short clip. VP Kamala Harris just broke the 50-50 tie in the Senate to proceed with the COVID relief bill.
The Senate.
Here we go.
On this vote, the yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the motion to proceed is agreed to.
One more time.
The yeas are 50, the nays are 50. The Senate being equally divided, the Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the motion to proceed is agreed to.
I love when she said the Vice President votes in the affirmative, and the motion is to proceed. You go, girl. Yes, that's my Vice President. And then I want to play this from Bernie Sanders, because he's now over the, I think the chair for the committee for the budget or something to that effect. But let's listen to him.
Now, I know that there is controversy, and Senator Graham raised this issue. Democrats have a majority, a bare majority with the vice president, 51 votes. Why are we not working with our Republican colleagues? We have reached out time and time again. The president has reached out. Work with us. But you got to understand the severity of the crisis. And they have not done this.
All right.
Using reconciliation, by the way, Mr. President, as you well know, not a new idea. When our Republican colleagues had the majority, they used reconciliation.
Right.
What did they use it for? They used it for massive tax breaks for the rich. That's what they used reconciliation for. They used reconciliation in order to try to throw 32 million Americans off the Affordable Care Act, something that Trump was fervent about. And by one vote, Senator McCain, we prevented 32 million people from losing their health insurance through the reconciliation process. So our response is, you want unity? Well, you know what? We probably have more unity today in America around this package than anything that I can remember. Polls vary, 65, 70% of the American people understand the crisis we are facing. They want us to respond. This legislation is enormously popular, not just from progressives, not from moderates, but from Republicans as well, depending on the poll. 40, 50% more Republicans support it because they can't afford to pay their rent. They can't afford to go to the doctor. They understand that government has got to help.
Right. And that was Senator Bernie Sanders. And I'm in agreement to what he said. Basically, they just love to, what the Republicans do, they love to just be hypocritical. They want to point the finger. They have such a double standard. And again, they're not trying to bring upon unity. They don't want unity. They won't give the tax breaks to the rich like themselves, their friends, rich companies and businesses and all of that, and want to keep us struggling as Americans. And they want us to be poor. They don't want us to advance. They don't. They don't want health care for all. They don't want $15 minimum wage. But then they always want to talk about unity, throw that crap in our face. But then and talk about work together, cross aisles and work together. But they just want everything to go their way, not ever really willing to compromise and meet in the middle. So I'm in agreement with Senator Bernie Sanders from Vermont. He's the senator from Vermont, one of the senators from Vermont. So I am just really, I'm so over the fake outrage of the Republican Party. It would be good to come together. That would be best for all of us. And in my opinion, that is what uniting would be about. And this country belongs to all of us. We're not going to always agree. That's what makes us the unique individual each one of us are. But this racism and this hate, that is not what this country should be about. And it's definitely not representing that of being a Christian. That of being a person who say he or she is a Christian and loves God. God is love, and he has no respect to person. And he treats everyone equally. Just like in the parable where people went to work, I think like maybe 5 started, then 5 more came, or 10 started, and 5 more or 10 more came. But at the end of the day, they all got the same wage, the same pay, regardless of whether they were the ones that initially started. They were there from the initial start time to the quitting time, or those that came, say, in the middle, maybe during lunch, and then those that came later on in the evening, and then maybe those that came to take for 1 hour. But at the end of the day, everybody got paid the same wage. Equal treatment, fairness. And that's all we want, is to be treated one as Black Americans, African Americans, people of color, even immigrants, to be treated as if we are human beings too. To be treated fairly, to be given the opportunity to show our skills, what we can bring to the table, our capabilities, and not to be judged by the color of our skin, as the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, by the content of our character. See, character is important. Character does matter. And see, what this Republican Party showed me, because these are adults. adult men and women. You let a person get off with an acquittal that put a hit on America. He incited an insurrection. And over the past 4 years, no one had no fake outrage of how he would call people some of the most gross names. As George Behart said today on the V, when you want to say deplorable, nothing's been deplorable than that what we have had from Trump the last 4 years when he had the office, and just him in general. So stop with the fake outrage. And if you want to clutch your pearls, be my guest. Clutch your pearls. I really don't care at this point. I want better for us all, but I know I can't do that alone. We do need one another. We are better and stronger with one another, but we're not all on the same page, and I get that. But there's no need for this ugliness. It's not. But what gives me comfort and carries me is the true relationship that I have with the man above. Because I know at the end of the day, he's in control. Nothing that's going on in this world is a surprise to him. He shut down in my state alone a couple of weeks ago, where people couldn't even get out because of the snow and ice. Mississippi is not one that often gets snow and ice, but it was the most severe. People in our capital of Hinds County, Jackson, Mississippi, many people, because of the faultiness of the water system, were without water. Some are still without water. Then we still in a pandemic that took place a year ago in the month of March. See, I know who has the ultimate last say in all things and who is in control. And he only let so much go on for so long before his wrath comes. So the Republicans, you're not in control, and neither is Democrats. But this hate, this racism, this is not the way. It is not the way. I'm Marsha Lewis. Let's talk.